Lord wants you to hear him, and he wants to hear that you hear him. We're no longer going to have church where we jump, shout, and scream, hallelujah, I receive, and we get out of there and we're still dry and empty. To God be the glory. Many believers today, or dare I say many Christians today, are in a place where God has not said for them to be. Just because they feel more comfortable in their country. They feel more at place in their country. They feel more at peace in their father's house. Yet you are the Joseph in your family, and guess what happens with Joseph? Every brother hates him. You are wondering, why does everybody not like me? Why is everybody just fighting with me? Because you are the Joseph, baby. Go out of your father's house. You're not going to be in Potiphar's palace if you are in your father's house. Potiphar won't even know your name because he doesn't even know your address. But Potiphar got to know Joseph because he moved to where God took him to. If you read that story of Joseph, I love it. It goes on and it says, and God was with Joseph. And God was with Joseph. And God was with Joseph. Joseph was in the pit, and God was with Joseph. Joseph was in prison, and God was with Joseph. Joseph was in the desert, and God was with Joseph. That is why he said, when you go through the waters, I will be with you. And God was with you. When you go through the fire, I will be with you. And God was with you. When you go through the waters, you will not drown, because I will hold you with my righteous right hand. And God was with you. If you have not experienced God's hand upon your life, it means you are not where you are supposed to be. He is not with you. Because he does not get lost. And he's not like Siri, or he's not like the GPS which says redirecting or rerouting. No. He says, this is the way, go ye in it. Do not turn to it from the right, do not turn to it from the left. Go ye in. So I will not redirect as God. I am God, I change it not. This is the way, go ye in it. And God was with Sarah. We look at Sarah's life and we see how God carried Sarah through. We look at David's life and he looks at his life and he says, I was young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Why? Because God was with them. Have you ever asked yourself, what would have happened if David didn't show up at the camp? Have you ever asked yourself? What would have happened if David didn't bring food for his brothers at that time? David was sent. Oh, Shakamaya Baba. David was sent. He did not send himself. David was chilling there watching his sheep and playing his harp and thinking, which bear am I going to slay today? And his father calls him and says, come, take your food, this food, and go and give it to your brothers. Now David, if it was some of us, we would have said, Dad, you are so wicked. You know you sent me in the field. You didn't bother to bring me food. But you are calling me to take food to go give my brothers. How wicked are you? I'm going to call child services on you. What a wicked father. I am hungry. You didn't even ask me if I'm hungry. You are telling me to take food to my brothers. What about me? What did I eat? That's some of us praying in our closets. What about me, Lord? You've blessed Susan. Lord, like you've blessed Susan with a car, I've also been driving this old raggedy thing. You don't see me, Lord? Come on now, let's be truthful.
Yes.
Because the truth will make us free.
Yes.
Oh Lord, look at her, she's been married 3 times already. She can't even keep a man, but you keep giving her a man. How about me? But David listened to the call. He followed his father's instructions. Have you heard the call from God? Have you listened to his instructions? Have you followed his instructions? Where you are right now, have you followed God's instructions? Who would have said, hey, you Goliath, you ugly tall giant, how dare you defile the kingdom of heaven, of Jehovah? Who are you? You don't even have a covenant with God. We have a covenant with God. Why? Because he was sent. So don't allow me to break grammar and all the rules and all this. We do not come with eloquence of words. So don't be the went, but be the sent.
Yes. Yes.
Many people are went, but they are not sent. And that's why everybody's fighting with you, including the dog and the cat. They're asking you, what are you doing here? If you don't believe me, ask the prodigal son. He found himself dining with the pigs, and the pigs were like, and what's he doing here? I don't know. Yo, dude, what are you doing here? And he's like, come on, let me have that peel. It's mine. What are you doing here? Right. You are dining with pigs. You are not supposed to be dining with pigs. What are you doing? That's why the prodigal son gets a wake-up call and he says, I will go back to my father's house. Yeah. And I will say, forgive me, for I have sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves. You cannot go back to your father if you have pride. One thing I knew about America before I came to the United States of America was that Americans are so proud to be Americans. Even the hobo on the street is proud to be an American. He will tell you, I'm American. And he's homeless, but he doesn't care. He's American. And you can tell him nothing. But sadly, many of them are homeless because the pride doesn't allow them to go back to their father's house. I've asked a couple of them, hey, how did you end up here? How come you are begging from a foreigner in your own land? I'm not meaning to offend anybody. I just want to understand what happened. Man, I ain't about to deal with my family, man. I'd rather be out here all by myself. I'll hustle, I'll make it. Eventually I'll make it, man. You know, I got this dream, I got these plans, man. I'm gonna make it. Just go home. I'm not judging anybody. But from what I've heard with a couple of them, conversing with them, some of them have family in Arizona. They can't just take a Greyhound and go home. They came to LA thinking they were going to make it big in Hollywood. It crashed. Go home. Oh man, I ain't about to go deal with that. I'd rather be out here hustling, man. You're not a hustler. No. Am I right? So we see how following your father's instructions